Welcome to another Great Wisdom and Knowledge 5 podcast episode. This week, I want to discuss the world we live in. And a programming note, if you haven't checked out my latest podcast with Glenn Medeiros, she's singing the hit song, Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You. It is out right now. He went from being a hit singer in the 80s, early 90s to, you know, radically transforming what he was doing in his life and working in education. And now he is, a president of a school, of a school K through 12 in Honolulu. It's a very fascinating story and great journey. You can get so much out of that podcast episode. And next week, I am interviewing Todd Cave, and we are going to be discussing ancient civilization. So you don't want to miss that one. But let's get into this week, the world we live in. And it's quite evident that a lot of people in the world, we live in a world that, is made up of all different types of people, all different walks of life. And as someone who cares about humanity, stands for human rights, is pro peace, you name it, you know, and fully understands what is going on in the world. I am someone who has been speaking out, been standing for what is right in this world. And ever since, you know, it's been happening for a long time, but 2020 exposed a lot as to what's radically changing in the world, what's radically shifting, what the powers that be, are trying to push, so to speak. And the bottom line is we have the power to take a stand. We have the power to, speak out. We have a power to be a voice. And the world that we live in is radically changing and not for the better of humanity. I mean, we care about humanity. We want it to be, a pro-humanitarian world. But, the powers that be, the ones that are trying to be the ruling class, so to speak, because we have the power to stand against these people. Uh, they want the world radically changing, whether it be through Agenda 2030, you name it, things. And what's so sad to see is, and people are entitled to their own thoughts, their own opinions, and old habits die young. There's so many people relying on, you know, every word that a politician says or that a political party does or that Supreme Court justices do, which, they're not for the people. They're not for the people. They're for their own interests. There should not be Supreme Court justices to begin with, and a lot of people would agree with me on that. But bottom line is, we're living in a society that is, radically changing, and people are getting that. People are waking up. People are sick of wars. People are sick of, how our countries are funding things, how prices are at an all-time high. And there's still people out there that just cling and get depressed every time a politician does something or says something. And, much love to you for being a light, for speaking the truth, but you shouldn't be depressed. You shouldn't be down because somebody does that. And I get you're sucked into that game, but you have the power to suck yourself out of it. You have the power to, say, hey, I'm not going to let this person, that person, this figure affect me. You can say, I'm going to take a stand, yes, but I'm not going to let it depress me because I see people being depressed over it. And, it's like, hey, why not instead say, hey, I'm not going to let it affect me. We have the power to do that. And I get that, some people are just sucked into it so deeply, but that's not the way out. It's not the way the world is supposed to be. People are supposed to be able to think for themselves. People are supposed to be able to, stand up, take a rise, stand for all of humanity. And I get it. There's people who don't want peace, people who want peace. The world is, radically. divided, but it's also, there's a lot of people united too. And among the people who are united, there's people who are just still sucked into the game. The game meaning, political theater, so to speak. And I need this person. I need people want to people want to play into that game of I need someone to save me. And you have the power to stand for yourself, take care of yourself. You don't need someone creating rules for you, creating laws, creating thinking for you. You don't need somebody telling you what to do. And, hopefully more and more people will get this and wake up. And then there's other people too who are, taking a stand or say that they're taking a stand and then they'll be like, well, I can't afford anything and all this. And I get it. Yeah, yeah. Inflation, all that stuff. But then you can't afford anything, but then you're continuing down the pathway to destruction. You're not changing your ways. See, when you change your ways, when you change your thinking, when you change what you do with your life, it makes a big difference. And we have seen in 2024 a massive awakening and like never before. People are saying, hey, politics is both sides are the same coin here in America, and I couldn't agree more, and people are getting what is going on in the world. People are getting that, uh, Zionists have a major influence in this world, in the US, you know, that they are infiltrating just about everything. And it's like mm, they are, I agree, 100%, and it's sickening. But you can be a voice, you can speak out, you can say these people are evil. 'Cause they are. They're flat out evil. And usually the ones that you can't speak out on because they want to censor all talk on these people, on the Zionists. They want to speak, Zionist Israel, you can't talk about, they want to, censor that. Usually the ones that you can't speak out on are the ones that should be a huge red flag. You just say, hey, whoa, whoa, what's going on here? You can't speak out on them? So you can speak out about this, that, and the other, whether it be Catholics, Christians, you name it, but not Zionist Israel? No, you can't speak out on them. No, I'm not playing that game. I'm not, and I get that's the game that they're playing. You can't let's censor, let's censor, let's censor. And I don't want to make this all about the Zionists. I'm just using that as an example. You know, Not everyone's freaking down with you guys. Not everyone wants your agenda. A lot of people don't. The majority of this world does not want your agenda, your infiltration in, everyday life and politics, you name it. No, because we don't stand with you. We don't one bit. We stand against it, you know. And as it being, the July 4th holiday here in America, I get it. Okay, people want to celebrate, which is fine. People want to celebrate. I get it, but it's not like it was. Not at all. We're completely hijacked, and I'm not big into a flag to begin with, but we're completely hijacked by Israel, the majority of it, Israel, but also funding Ukraine is something else, and I truly feel for the innocent people over there in Ukraine and such, but you know, our country's being completely forgotten about, 100%. And so it's up to the people to speak out, stand out like I'm doing, and many others, and to say, hey, this isn't right. When the phony Supreme Court justices, and they're real people, yes, they are, but illegitimate, I should say. These people are con artists, selected, and it's all nonsense, in my opinion. This is my opinion, and you can have your own opinion. You can, think whatever you want about them. They're here for the greater good of humanity. That all these organizations are here for the greater good of humanity. But I see it otherwise. That's just me. So, anyways, they also want to do things like, ban homeless people from, and they've already passed it, where cities can ban homeless people from sleeping outside. Well, that's not going to solve the homeless crisis. That is going to make things worse, and I could get into a whole episode on that. But there's just things going on, they just get this. I don't know if you knew this, but the U.S. just gave Moderna millions of dollars to make a bird flu vaccine. So they want to pull another pandemic with this bird flu, which is all the same rinse and repeat game, get people into submission, and we need people to be sucked out of submission because this is not the world that we are called to live in. We are not called to live in some dystopian authoritarian rule nightmare world. We're not. And this is not just like the game book in 2020 when they had, which they practiced before with Cloud X, Crimson Contagion, Event 201, which is put on by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and they've been doing it since after 9/11. They've been doing these tabletop exercises. There's a whole video out on that, and I'll put that video actually in the description of the podcast today, so you can see what has been going on. You know, but we as humanitarians need to, stand strong. We need to continue to stand up for all of humanity. Take a stand, speak out, be vocal, you know, be a voice in this world. And, hopefully those that are sucked into this, oh, I'm going to be depressed every time I fall into this, do that, or my only way out is hopefully they will wake up to the truth. It's a big club and you're not in it. Like George Carlin says, big club and you're not in it. Comedian George Carlin, who is legendary, has said it several times about politicians. But, I just wanted to come on and just say, hey, much love to everyone who is taking a stand in this world, who gets what's going on in the world. Continue to, be aware of your surroundings. Continue to be aware of what's going on in the world. Never be silent. Stand up. Take a stand like never before because this is there's no other time, and you will fall for anything if you don't stand for something. And I take a stand for all of humanity. And, you know, what is going on in this world is not right, whether it be wars, destruction, inflation, all these things are evil, wiping out humanity. No, I don't stand for that. I stand for peace. I stand for, human rights. I stand against the evils of this world, and that's what I'm called to do. And that's what many people know that they are called to do. They're called to, speak out about the truth, expose the truth, be a light in this world and find common ground with people who don't get it, and hopefully they will fully understand what's going on. And hopefully things will be different, and we are making a difference by speaking out. We are making a difference. You stay silent, you're not doing anything. You're not being a voice. You're not doing this, that, and the other. But if you speak out, speak truth, share truths, whether it be on social media, whether it be out in public, whether it be anywhere, wherever you may be, commenting on something, whatever it may be, you are making a difference. You are being a light in this, world. You are the difference maker and you never know who you're going to affect positively by doing this. You can radically change somebody's life by what you say, by what you do, by your actions, by whatever you're doing. And hopefully you get this and you have the power to withstand anything. You have the power to, not be sucked into, mind control games, whether it be I need to support this, I need to support that, meaning politically wise, because that's all nonsense. That's all to divide humanity. And we are called to unite as humanity. Anyways, I just wanted to come on with a message this week, of how we need to stand up for the world while we still can, stand up for humanity while we still can, and stand against things like Agenda 2030 and them radically changing the world and having an authoritarian world where, they control when you go out, they control this, they control that, and the other. We're not put on earth for that. We are not called to, be silent either. We're not called to be silent. We're called to stand up against this. And, you know, to all the countless people who get what's going on in the world and are sharing truths and doing, the right things. Much love to you. To those who are even just starting out, and don't fully understand it, much love to you. And hopefully you will continue to wake up, continue to learn, continue to grow. And if you have not subscribed to this podcast already, Wisdom and Knowledge 5, please do so. I have some great guests coming up. You can find me on TikTok where I'm most vocal, most sharing my posts. I'm also on Instagram, but my furthest reach as far as using social media on a daily basis is TikTok. But anyways, for Wisdom and Knowledge 5, uh, much love to everyone taking a stand, peace to the world, and continue to be a light.